I'm really here in mourning for a once great Judiciary Committee. I know my first term, 05 and 06, I saw our current chairman as a champion for privacy rights, for civil rights, for Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights, and something dramatically has changed over the years. There was concern back then about too much power through the FISA courts, through the Patriot Act, and we shared a number of those concerns. And now this committee majority is on the wrong side of a very important historic time. We've never had the intelligence community, the FBI, people at the top of the DOJ abusing their powers to create a case against a president where there was none, where assets were actually used to try to set up members of the Trump campaign when there was no case, to try to create a case. We ought to be all over that. We ought to be demanding answers from the FISA judge or judges who were either A, content to have fraud committed against their courts, or were complicit. Maybe it was Peter Strzok's buddy that he bragged about in his text that was going to be the FISA judge that signed warrants where there was no probable cause of anything. This was an attempted coup, and history is bringing that into focus more and more clearly. And what does this committee do about the abuses, the attempted coup? It comes in and decides we're going to go after the Attorney General who's trying to clean up the mess. Christopher Wray sure hasn't. Instead of asking from the intel community, let us see the 100% certain proof you have that Hillary Clinton's personal server was hacked by China. No, he covers it up. Says we still hadn't seen it. Well, they hadn't asked to see it. There is a disaster that has occurred in our justice system, and this committee has oversight responsibilities, and we are abusing those. This motion for contempt is not being done in good faith. I'm not going to call anybody on this committee the names that my colleague from Tennessee just did in violation of our rules of decorum. But the truth is, we know that this committee majority is not acting in good faith. How? Because they're moving for contempt for an attorney general failing to turn over material that this majority, at least some, maybe it's just the staff, but some people know that you can't hold someone in contempt. You can vote to do that, but you can't be in contempt for failing to produce things that are illegal for you to produce. How do we know? Somebody over there knows that this is wrong, is because there was an offer. Look, Attorney General Barr, if you'll join us in going to court and getting a court order so that we can get the grand jury proceedings and evidence, then we will disregard the contempt. Well, that's evidence of a state of mind by the majority that at least somebody over there knows you cannot be in contempt for failing to produce what would be illegal to produce without a court order. You're on the wrong side of history. And there is no joy here in seeing the abuses. I hope and pray literally for the day when we can join forces and quit trying to push this idea of an attempted coup and uncover the abuses that have truly gone on. My time's expired. The committee's has too.